Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stream. Alright, so went ahead, where was I before I was setting up? Right, yes, down here. Into the computer we go, and while we do this, we'll request the catering service.
Catering
Allegiant.
vehicles are on their way.
We are Allegiant 1325 this morning. We have a cost index of 40 on our route to Myrtle Beach today, and we'll have an altitude of 36,000 feet. Head on over. Our zero fuel weight will be... Alright. Hold 1. Briefing preview. Zero fuel weight will be 128.7 this morning. We don't have a full flight today, but we are loaded down pretty well. Alright, 31.5 is our ZFW. Sorry, CG. Our block fuel this morning is going to be 14.8. There we go. Flight plan, they have us this morning on runway 31 for departure. There will be no SID as it's Atlantic City. And we'll be arriving on runway 36. Just go ahead and put the ILS in, and there will be no star there. Perfect. Waiting for your action, open to right. Should be fine. Should open up any moment now. It appears to be very cold in Atlantic City, unfortunately, so no beachgoers this morning. However, still plenty of other tourism. Probably why they're all heading down to Myrtle Beach this morning. Anyways, over to performance page. We'll go. Now we'll go over here. We'll go to departure performance, sync load sheet, runway surface. There's snow on the ground here, so I would think that we have some form of special takeoff. Nope. Nope. We'll say dry, AC, sync load sheet, sync live, Wix, calculate. So they're gonna have us go down 3, actually. Alright. We're 146. Now looking at sim brief here, 146, 146, and then 147. We flaps 1/down 0.3, was it? Yes, it was 0.3. And our flex temperature today is going to be 63 degrees. Perfect, perfect. Catering's still going. Go ahead and take a look at the Atlantic City METAR. Oh, actually, we got that right here in the pad here. My flights. Perfect. Okay. So, winds are actually calm. No winds this morning. Altimeter is going to be 3011. And we'll do that to both sides here. Cannot forget to do that. Alright, they're done with catering. We'll request the boarding now.
Boarding requested.
Oh. Didn't notice that. Thankfully I caught that before we departed. Landing gear should be locked now. Alright. And how cold is it out today? Trying to find it. I think it's like 2 degrees today. Anyways, no, we do not want to attach the tug. And yes, please, let's get the crew on board. Go ahead, open the cockpit door for now. There's no sense in having it closed. And we'll go ahead and take a look at our departure for our flight today. Well, actually, there's no SID or star, so I mean, we'll just clear ourselves right up to 36,000 feet then. Because unfortunately there's no ATC on the ground in Atlantic City anyways, so. Actually, no, already in Unicom. We'll make sure that our throttles are calibrated. They are, in fact, calibrated. Good to see, good to see. Alright. Let's get these passengers boarded.
Your crew has boarded. Passengers boarding starting.
Alright, so now we'll go ahead, start the APU, now that boarding is starting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get that going now. Whoops. And go ahead. Center startup. After that, we'll go ahead and close the cargo doors, because apparently ground crew forgot to do that. Man, listen to her sound up. Excellent, excellent. Alright. AP bleed on. And external power off. We'll go to ground services. We'll have them disconnect the ground power unit. And we'll have them close those doors. There we go. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome on board. Good morning.
Okay, we've got our camera view set.
Hello.
Oxygen mask cover here. Anything else that I could... Nose wheel steering disc. I don't want to open the door, A, because it's cold, and also B, it like seems to break my iPad every time I open the window. So it's kind of sad, but I don't get to use that. Just exploring this cockpit a little bit more. What's up there?
This way, please.
Oh, anyways, and we'll get the fuel pumps on before I forget. 'Cause that would be unadvised, not advised. Set transponder to on.
More boxes, more options. Granger has over
Allegiant 132025.
and ready to help you pack, store, and ship everything. And you can count on Granger to deliver
What
boxes
one did I put on the
Count
flight plan?
Granger for boxes. Call or click Granger.com/boxes today.
Oh,
This way.
hold on, I haven't filed the flight plan yet. There we go.
Biggest mistakes that men over
And there's our auto ATC.
complete
Good morning.
So they're gonna have a squawk 6575 for IFR flight from Atlantic City to Myrtle Beach.
robot. Now, at this age, matters more than ever. And that's why I've added
6575. How are we doing on the boarding? Just got 3 more passengers. Excellent. We'll go ahead, get that in. Close the door. Go ahead and lock it now. Excellente. We'll go ahead and notify the cabin. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your Captain Flight Deck. Welcome aboard Allegiant Airlines Flight 1325 with service down to Myrtle Beach. On behalf of your flight crew, I'd like to welcome you on board. Flight time today, we're looking about hour 22 minutes on down to South Carolina. We do expect a smooth ride going down the East Coast today, so the seatbelt sign should remain off for most of the flight. However, we do expect to be pushing back here very soon, so we do ask that you find those seats, fasten those seatbelts. Flight attendants will now be coming around with a very important safety briefing. We do ask that you give me your full, undivided attention as they review the safety operations of this Airbus A320. We appreciate your business on board this flight. If there's anything we do to make your flight any more enjoyable, please don't hesitate to ask. Welcome aboard. Alright. Prepare for pushback and departure. No, so we're gonna have to get de-iced.
Please stand by for engine start until push is completed and brakes are set.
So yeah, we'll taxi to the de-ice pad, I suppose.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Ready for pushback? Actually, yeah, no. Actually, no, we don't need wing lights on just yet. So yep, we'll go ahead and get
Departure
de-iced
checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
as we get pushed back here.
Locking gear.
Alright, we're going to want to push back. Best way to get to the icing pad would be nose right, tail left. Get the chocks out. We want nose right, tail left.
Release parking brakes, please.
Release parking brakes.
Commencing push. Due to icing conditions, please stand by for engine start until push is completed and brakes are set.
Will do. Man, I love the Allegiant livery. Something nice about it. Start the chronometer. Gonna stop us here. There we go.
Please set parking brakes.
Setting parking brakes. All engines clear. Start at will. Starting engine number 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, please observe the cabin crew member closest to you as we are about to demonstrate the safety features of our Airbus A320 aircraft. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard our Airbus A320. Please pay attention to illuminated signs.
Yeah, I'll let you know when we have a good engine start. Alright, good. Engine start number 2, starting engine number 1. So what we'll actually do, since we have to go to the icing pad, and it's not that far away, we'll just keep the APU on for our taxi, and then go ahead and get de-iced. Alright, we'll confirm the good engine start.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Ignition off. Yep, so what we're going to do is we're going to just go here, turn, and then does the de-icing pad not exist in the NSFS scenery?
Unlocking gear.
Huh. No, apparently it doesn't. Alright.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed. Left is clear. Right is clear.
Instead, we'll just disregard de-icing and pretend like we just got that, I guess. I don't know, because there's no de-icing pad. Alright. Turn those off, get the anti-icing on. Wing light on. Looking for him. There he is with the bypass pin. Thank you very much, sir. We shall. Anyways, flight control test now. Right. Left. Forward. Back. Right. Left. Flight controls are free and correct. Go ahead and get taxi lights on. Set flaps for 1. Max auto brake. Spoilers armed. And we'll begin taxi to our runway. 2. Okay, here we go. Atlantic City traffic, Allegiant 1325 taxiing to runway 31 via Bravo. Atlantic City traffic. Go. Since there's no departure, we'll climb on runway heading, which would be 308. If we go the other way, that'll be quicker. .08. Wait for them to buzz us. Woo! Took that one a little bit too fast. It's fine, we're Allegiant. Cabin's ready. Alright. Flight attendants, please proceed for departure. And since we're Allegiant, we'll do ourselves a rolling takeoff today. The cabin lights, yep. Off. Alright. Checking anything else, making sure I'm not forgetting anything. Alright. Takeoff checklist complete. Man, Southwest style taxi this morning. Atlantic City traffic, Allegiant 1325, departing runway 31. Atlantic City traffic. Okay. Landing lights on, takeoff lights on, runway turn on lights on, and strobe lights on. Turn and burn. Hold on, let's get lined up before we go. Okay, there we go. Takeoff power set. Airspeed alive. Hundred knots, cross check. V1, rotate. Pause, ready to climb. Gear up. .1,000 feet, we'll direct Leah. Start making the turn. TCAS mode to TARA. Climb power. Whoa. Some turbulence. Hold on, let's kind of stop our climb and get some airspeed. Here's the clock. So actually looks like I've got some bumps up here. Ground spoiler is no longer armed. Man, my promise for a smooth ride seems to be... well, seems like I broke that promise already. We'll go flaps up and autopilot on. Yeah, geez, it is quite bumpy up here this morning. Well, kind of smoothed out there. Turn predicted wind shear on. Passing through 10,000 feet. Lights will come off. And we'll speed things up. I hope y'all are having a great Friday. I know I am. Excellent Friday morning. Thought I'd get some live streaming done. Post something on my channel. Because it's been a while. It really has. I have like months of videos backlogged for editing right now because I'm having a problem with my editing software. So, yeah. Hopefully within the next month though, I'll be able to start cranking content out. Also, another big problem is I've just been so egregiously busy. And right now I'm not, so... just gonna have ourselves a little live stream on down to Myrtle Beach. And then go from there. Enjoy the beautiful skies of the East Coast, North America. Alright. Past 18,000 feet. Set to standard. Keep climbing. Tray table down here. Alright. Let's look at our flight plan. I think what I want to do is maybe just direct pack. Top climb. Yeah, I think we're just gonna go direct pack. Just move things along here. Then go ahead, turn that down a little bit. Alright, so now I also want to look at the approaches into Myrtle Beach. ILS 36 right? Not 36 right, just 36. Looking at the chart. I'll need to be about 1,600 feet. So, we'll look at all that a little bit later though in the flight. Once we get closer to our top drop. Yeah. Just keep climbing. Alright, we're fast approaching our cruising altitude for this flight. Oh, standby compass. We will go ahead. Turn off fasten seatbelt signs, and we'll notify the cabin. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your cabin flight deck. We wanted to inform you that we have reached our cruising altitude for the flight. You are free to move about the cabin. Ooh, we don't need a standby compass. Alright folks, so I just got a update for you here. Remember how I said it was going to be a smooth ride today? No, not at all, actually. Like, there is a huge, like, storm going through the Myrtle Beach, basically just along the coast of North and South Carolina and Atlanta. And it's going to be sticking around there till about noon today. It's going to be... it'll probably get bumpy. So, I guess I won't notify the cabin till descent. It's fine. It's fine. Although I should probably figure out how to get the Wixer going on the display here. Alright, I think that did it. Hopefully. Hopefully that does it. Whew, this may be a bumpy one, getting into Myrtle Beach. Although, winds don't look... yeah, they're not too bad. About 4 knots. It's just going to be a lack of visibility, I think. Got an aircraft flying right next to us. At 1,000 feet above. Nope, I don't see any traffic. Oh, right there, right there. Right out there. Man, look at that down there. That's going to be what we're in pretty soon here. In about 50 or so minutes. Well, more like 30. Shall be fun. Shall be fun indeed. Alright, we got about 40 miles to go. Go ahead, put in our destination data. Alright, QNH right now in Myrtle Beach. There we go. Arrival. Altimeter is going to be 300. Temperature down there is like 13 degrees. Winds are calm, which is crazy because there's a whole-on thunderstorm going on down there. But the winds are apparently calm. Landing config 3, flaps full. RV approach speed will be 137. Well, we actually don't need to put any of that in right now because PAC's not our top of descent. I forgot about that. Our top of descent isn't for like another 100 miles. Whoops, the daisies. It's fine. We'll double check later. Alright, looks like we got some traffic to our 12 o'clock. Looks to be about maybe 3,000 feet above us. Right there he is. We got the traffic inside. About 40 miles out, and we are less than 60 miles away from our top drop. President Pitzer, Mr. Vice President, Governor, Congressman Thomas, Senator Wiley, Congressman Miller, Mr. Bell, scientists, distinguished guests, and ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate your president having made me an honorary visiting professor, and I assure you that my first lesson will be very brief. I am delighted to be here, and I am particularly delighted to be here on this occasion. We stand here today at a college noted for knowledge, in a city noted for progress, in a state noted for strength. And we stand in need of all three today. For we meet in an hour of fear and hope, in a decade of fear, knowledge, and ignorance. The greater our knowledge increases, the more our ignorance unfolds. No man can fully comprehend how far and how fast we have come, but condense, if you will, the known 50,000 years of man's existence into but a half a century. Under these terms, we know very little about the first 40 years, except at the end of them, advanced man learned to make clothing out of the skins of animals. 10 years ago, under this standard, man emerged from its caves and formed shelters of other kinds. printing press. 2 years ago, people started to write and use a cart with wheels. The printing press came out this year, and just 2 months ago, the steam engine provided a new source of power. So it is not surprising that some would have us stop, to pause, reflect, and to wait. But this city of Houston, this state of Texas, this country of the United States was not built by those who sat and wait. It was conquered by those who move forward. And so will space. We set sail on this new sea because there is new knowledge to be gained and new rights to be won. And they must be won and used for the progress of all people. For space science, like nuclear science and all others, and all technology, has no conscience of its own. Whether it will be used as a force for good or ill depends on man, and only if the United States occupies a position of preeminence can we help decide whether this new ocean will be a sea of peace or a new terrifying theater of war. I do not say that we should or will go unprotected against the hostile misuse of space any more than we go unprotected against the hostile misuse of land or sea. But I do say that space can be conquered without feeding the fires of war, without making the same mistakes man has made in extending his writ around this globe of ours. There is no strife, no prejudice in outer spaces, yet its hazards are hostile to us all. It deserves the best of mankind, and its opportunity for peaceful cooperation may never come again. But why, some say, the moon? Why choose this as our goal? And they may as well ask, why climb the highest mountain? Why, 30 years ago, fly the Atlantic? Why does Rice play Texas? We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to measure and organize the best of our efforts. That challenge is one that we are willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one in which we intend to win. And the others too. However, I think we're going to do it. And it'll be done in the decade of the 60s. We're not going to overspend on this project, but I think we ought to do the job. Alright, coming up on our top of descent here. Getting auto ATC? Nope. None. Okay. So with that, Williams. We'll go down to 6,000 feet. Or that's 47 miles. We'll go to 10. Well, 8. 8 I think should be enough. Top descent reached, descending down to 8,000 feet. Altimeter 300. There we go. Get the passengers back into their seats. Now we'll go ahead and notify the passengers. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your Captain Flight Deck. You may have noticed that we have begun our descent down into Myrtle Beach. we ask that at this time, return to your seats for seatbelts securely fastened. Now, there will be some thunderstorms in the area of Myrtle Beach, so we do expect a couple of bumps on our descent.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will shortly be landing. Please
Okay,
hold cabin
flight attendants are gonna steal the show from me.
laptop aside. Tray tables must be stowed, armrests down, window blinds open. Now need to be seated with your seatbelt fastened and ready for landing. Please help us by handing in any rubbish, newspapers, magazines,
Any rubbish. Alright. Here we go. Alright, into the soup we go.
Your job doesn't seem
Gonna go ahead and turn off the music at this time. And focus up a little bit. I want to let me show weather. Hold on, trying to get the weather show up. There we go, there's weather. Whew, that is a nasty looking storm. Jeepers creepers. Okay. Looks like it shouldn't be too bad. Really? Winds are calm here. That I don't believe. Really? I don't trust that, to be honest. I guess we'll find out. 'Cause boy howdy. I didn't notice that. It's actually kind of cool. First signs of rain. Get the rain repellent going. Company message. Anything else? No. Seatbelts are on at this time. Don't worry. Heading 220. Forward 2,000 feet be. So we'll actually let up a little bit on our descent right here. Yeah, that's probably about where I want to be at 2,000 feet. Okay, that storm is moving actively over the airport right now. I'm gonna double check the METAR myself. That does not sound right. Yeah, no wind. What the heck? Okay. Saying light rain. No VFR warnings. What the heck? Okay. No wind is crazy for this thunderstorm. Like, look at that. Look at that. That is blood red right there. Telling me there's no wind? We'll do auto brakes medium. Yep, and here comes the rain. Keep wipers off for now. Yeah, we're experiencing some bumps. Yep, getting some bumps now. Really, this is just blood. Okay. Dang, and there's no wind. I'm sorry, that just blows my mind. Yeah, we're going through one heck of a storm right now, folks. Passenger 10,000 feet. Lights come on. Flight attendants, please proceed for arrival. Just slow to 250 knots. Go, spoilers. There's the rain again. Go heading 230 now. Speed brake extended. Okay. Put speed brakes up. Flying through the thick of it right now. So much for escaping the cold, thrown right into a thunderstorm. Your cabin lights to 0, please. What's the visibility looking like in 9 miles visibility? What the heck? I don't believe this METAR. For a second, I don't believe it. This is so weird. But I have to trust it, because, like, what else am I going to trust? Now, get the repellent going once again. Yeah, I cannot see a thing. We'll just slow our rate of descent down even further. And we'll reduce to 210 knots. Myrtle Beach traffic, Allegiant 1325, we're vectoring ourselves in for the ILS runway 36 approach. Heading 230, coming from the northeast. Myrtle Beach traffic. Speed brakes deployed. And then we'll direct Chaka. Refrain real quick. Heading 250 now.
2,500.
Okay, go flaps 1. Speed check. Yes, I'm aware the speed brakes are extended. Okay, now we'll direct Chaka. Approach mode, activated ILS. We'll reduce to 180 knots now. There we go. Now we get the wipers. Arm the spoilers. Do flaps 2, speed check. Cabin is ready. Flight attendants, split speed for arrival. Still nothing, apparently. 2 miles out, we'll drop the gear. Gear down. Reduce to 160. Flaps 3, speed check. We'll go flaps full, speed check. Then we'll reduce to final. With turbulence, we're gonna go above that at 140 for now. Yep, we got quite the turbulence. It's not too bad, actually. 9-mile visibility, apparently. Well, we're less than 7.5 miles away, and I can still see jack squat. Landing checklist complete. Oh my gosh. Five miles out. Alright, well, we'll just to final now. Stay vigilant. Cannot see a thing.
1,000.
Oh, we're breaking through. We're breaking through. There we go. There we go. Field in sight. My aircraft. Don't disappear on me. Don't you dare. Come on. Stay with me here. Don't disappear. Thank you, sweetie.
500. Retard.
We're gonna be a little bit left. Well, it's not a bad landing though. Alright, two in reverse. We were 6 knots disengaged. Manual break in. We were right of the center line by quite a bit, but overall smooth, so not too disappointed with it, especially considering the circumstances. Alright, exit here, flaps up. Alright, take us to the ramp now. Go up through here. Myrtle Beach traffic, Allegiant 1325, clear of runway 36. Myrtle Beach traffic. Okay, go taxi lights on, other lights off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get the APU going. Let's get to the gate. That was an adventure. Okay. You can put the wipers away for now. And we'll go ahead and we'll choose a gate for us. Select from the map. Go ahead, choose that gate right there. No. No follow me truck today. Alright, into the terminal we go. Go ahead and turn off the taxi light, so we don't blind the poor people. And go ahead and park here. No, I'm not gonna do that. Myrtle Beach's grounds parking is a little bit wacky, as you can see. Anyway, shutting down engines 1 and 2. Beacon and wind lights coming off. That wasn't very good parking. Ah! Yeah, well, maybe don't try to send me into the jetway then. Oh my goodness. Get these passengers deported, and then get them the heck on out of here. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for this live stream of Microsoft Flight Simulator. I hope you all enjoyed very much. I know I did. Very fun flight indeed.
Passengers deboarding.
Not a horrible landing by us, right at the center line, but relatively smooth actually, so I ain't complaining. Thanks guys so much for watching. God bless and have a great Friday.